Is it just me, or are these fast food prices outrageous? I just had a workout, went to the park. We have Gymboree later. It's a busy day. Stopping for Chick-fil-A for a quick, easy lunch. I got a cool wrap and an 8-count nugget meal because I want to share his fries and drink his drink for my 1-year-old. It was $18. That's one meal and like another half a meal. That's crazy. It's crazy.
Hey everyone, don't waste your time and let's go start this video and watch this video.
Am I the only one who thinks going to a sit-down restaurant isn't even worth it anymore? For 2 people with tip and tax, you're spending a bare minimum of $50. If you get appetizers and drinks, that could easily be $80 to $100. Now, we go out for food like once or twice a week, and unless it's a celebration or we're going out with friends or family, we're just getting takeout. It's Chipotle, it's Bibimbap, it's Kava, right? That's it. It just makes no sense to spend $50 on a mid-tier sit-down meal when we can spend $17 and eat at home.
Restaurants changed after COVID in a way that customers can't even see. You know, before COVID, if somebody quit, you could replace them. Now, good luck. You know, a lot of career restaurant people left the industry completely. Chefs, servers, managers, line cooks. Some retired, some changed careers, some just got tired of getting beat up every day. And the people who stayed, most of them are doing the work of 3 people now. You know, that's why restaurants close earlier. That's why service feels different sometimes. That's why you see owners working the floor, cooking food, bussing tables, running cash registers. You know, we're all trying to hold it together. COVID didn't just hurt restaurants financially. It changed the workplace permanently. And I honestly don't think the industry's ever going to go back to the way it was before.
Everybody wonders why fast food is failing. Look at this sandwich. I paid $16 for this sloppy mess from Arby's. And there's barely any meat or anything on there. There's barely any cheese. It looks disgusting, actually. And then some burnt-ass fries and a drink. $16 and some change for something that is probably not even going to be that good. But this is why the companies are failing, because of shit like this. Y'all are trash and need to start putting what you post on your billboards and what you advertise, actually make your sandwiches have some kind of resemblance, because this shit is trash.
Fast food was supposed to be the cheap and convenient option. But for millions of Americans, that's becoming harder to believe. A simple meal can now cost far more than expected, and customers are starting to ask a serious question. When did grabbing fast food become almost as expensive as eating at a regular restaurant, from burgers and fries to drinks and extra charges? People are posting their receipts online, and the reactions are getting louder. One of the biggest frustrations is how quickly the final bill can increase. You might see a reasonable price on the menu, but once you add a drink, fries, toppings, upgrades, or other extras, the total can look completely different, and when you're buying food for an entire family, the difference becomes even more noticeable. A meal for one person might seem manageable, but multiply that by 3, 4, or 5 people, and suddenly a quick fast food stop can become a major expense. That's why so many customers are now comparing receipts and asking whether the convenience is actually worth the price. But there's another side to this story. Restaurants aren't operating in the same environment they were years ago. Businesses have to deal with wages, rent, utilities, ingredients, transportation, equipment, insurance, and countless other expenses. When those costs rise, restaurants have to make difficult decisions. They can raise menu prices, reduce portions, change promotions, add fees, or find other ways to control expenses. The problem is that customers don't necessarily care about the restaurant's internal costs. They care about one thing, the amount coming out of their wallet, and that's where the conflict begins.
No, a burrito shouldn't cost $20. This is news now. This is the freaking news, right? And the stuff in the supermarket shouldn't be $18. You know, you shouldn't have to pay $20 for one steak. And now they're just pretending to realize that, because numbers came out today, like 23,000 jobs were lost in July. But then they had to adjust numbers from before, May and June, and it was like another 200,000 jobs or something lost. So some kid goes online and says a burrito shouldn't cost $20, and suddenly everybody's weighing in. The New York Times, all the news outlets, but especially all the politicians. And now it's a news story. A burrito shouldn't cost $20. No shit, Sherlock. Too little, Too freaking late.
I hate that we're living in a time period when restaurant food is simultaneously absurdly expensive and also aggressively mediocre. Like, when did this happen? I used to love eating out. It used to be one of my favorite activities of all time. Now I genuinely, without irony, think to myself that whatever I make at home tastes better than something else I order out.
$52.95. $52.95 for this bowl of pasta right here and this drink right here. I'm at Italy at Park MGM, and this bowl of pasta right here and this drink right here cost me $52.95. $52.95. I'm at Italy at Park MGM, and this pasta right here and this drink right here.
One thing I hate that I see a lot of restaurants doing, and I feel like it's just been happening more and more, is that they'll have like a base dish that's like $20. So think of like fettuccine alfredo. Like, it'll just be the pasta and the alfredo sauce for $20. But then to add a protein like chicken, shrimp, steak, whatever, it's like an additional $7 or whatever, depending on whatever protein you get. Obviously, like, some of steak is probably more than chicken, but it's like, why is the dish without any protein $20 already? And you can say like, oh, that's, you know, like, that's great because if you're vegetarian, like, it doesn't already come with meat on it, whatever. Why is it $20? And then why, if I add protein, it's almost $30? Like, if I go to a restaurant like that, like, I'm not going there again. And you can call me broke or whatever, but I feel like so many restaurants are just so mid nowadays. Like, there are very few restaurants that I'm just like, yeah, it's worth spending $50 going there.
Yo, fast food places that are thinking about doing surge prices, I got some news for you. Fast food places in general, y'all better watch your ass. And I have been saying this for a very long time now, but they better watch their goddamn ass. And here's why. Me and my wife, two people, right? We go to Taco Bell. Now, don't get me wrong. Sometimes when I go to Taco Bell, I be throwing down. All right, I do. But not all the time. My standard order, a beef chalupa supreme, a Doritos Locos Tacos, no sides at all. She gets Nacho Bel Grande and some other whatever is going on that month that they're having to move real quick with Fritos and hot Cheetos and all that shit. Whatever Megan Thee Stallion's currently rapping about, that's what my wife gets, right? Plus a drink, a regular meal for two people. Last time we went there, $32. $32, okay? Now, I do pretty good. It's not like I can't afford the $32, but here's my point. Last time we ate at Cracker Barrel, I got the Uncle Herschel, no, excuse me, I got the Grandma Sampler, which comes with the pancakes, the eggs, the meat, all that shit. Got a coffee, we got a plate of biscuits and gravy. She got, I don't know what she got, but it was banging, the eggs Benny or some shit like that. Plus, she had mimosa. Guess what our bill was? $32. You're telling me that I'm gonna pay these at Taco Bell for barely anything, the same as I'm gonna pay people at Cracker Barrel. We had a 5-star waitress, by the way. 5-star waitress. Dough on her ankles. That way you know she's good. I'm gonna pay the same for these two experiences? I think the not.
This is so expensive.
This is not the Chili's I remember. It was like 2 for $20, then 2 for $25.
Not one meal for $22.89. I just spent $64 at Panera Bread. I am disgusted. Okay? Now, we're gonna listen and we don't judge. Are we still doing that? My family is sick. Everyone's sick except me. My husband's sick, my son is sick, my daughter's sick, okay? And I didn't have time to cook dinner. It's 7 p.m. and I just got home, so I picked up Panera Bread on the way home, okay? And yeah, they're sick and I'm gonna feed them carbs. We're gonna have macaroni and cheese. Everyone wanted one, so we got 4 macaroni and cheese, okay? And we got 4 small French onion soups. That's all we got. $64. What in the world? My kid just told me I'm embarrassing him.
My friends watch your TikToks. Why?
I don't know.
This is my TikTok, not theirs.
Emily, let's just...
This is crazy. $64 for Panera for some mac and cheese and some French onion soup? What the hell?
Check this out. I am still fuming from dinner last night because this receipt is crazy and I'm going to share it with you guys. Okay, so let's talk about this. I went to dinner last night and got a burger, and this is pretty normal. $13.75 for a burger. They added $2.25, which I thought was a lot for bacon, and then cheese, they charged me $1.50. $1.50. Okay, whatever. Let's get over the burger, right? We go to the sweet potato fries, which was the side, because apparently it doesn't come with sides, and the ranch dip was an extra 95 cents. Okay, who cares? Then we get to the lemonade. Here's where it starts blowing my mind. Add ice, 75 cents. And then they charged me for a refill. Ice? Really? We're charging for ice now? And this is a sit-down dinner restaurant, okay? Barbecue sauce, $1.25 for two. Extra napkins, 80 cents. Who charges for extra napkins? A to-go container, $1.25. Now this one I kind of get because sometimes people are wasteful with their food and then they end up throwing it away anyway. But then, you know, because I didn't know this when they told us, sitting outside on the patio is $2.95 more. Oh my God. If you're going to charge someone to sit outdoors, you need to tell them there's an upcharge to sit outside where it's hotter. And then because there's live music outside, $4.50. And then there's a table service charge, $3.75. What is that? Somebody tell me what a table service charge is if there's also a gratuity charge. Gratuity, $9.85. This is for two people, you guys. I shared this meal. And then my subtotal, $54.50, tax, $4.50, $59, and there's a spot for another tip, okay? I can safely say I'm never going to this restaurant again, and I hope you guys don't either.
I think we're getting to the breaking point where fast food employees are fed up and fast food prices are just getting out of control. It's 11 p.m. I just pulled up to a McDonald's, 24-hour McDonald's, by the way, because I was hungry. And they say they're closed. There's nobody in there. Mind you, this is a 24-hour McDonald's. I've been there before. The person on the intercom says that there's nobody there to serve any food. There's nobody there making any food. So either A, somebody quit, or B, they all just decided to leave. I'm reading a lot about the fast food industry recently because these are things that just spark my curiosity. I like to read weird things. And not only is fast food getting more expensive, but people are no longer opting for the DoorDash option. They're actually willing to make the drive because delivery fees have just gotten out of control. And grocery stores are starting to see trends of more people actually buying real food at the grocery store because economically it makes more sense to buy real food than it does to buy fast food. I'm gonna date myself here, but I remember when it was 2017 summer, I was a freshman in college, and I went to McDonald's to buy a Big Mac, a 10-piece nugget, and a large fry, and probably a McFlurry, and I kid you not, that must not have been any more than $10 to $12. And that's not including the deals that they have on the McDonald's app, by the way. I've now seen people that are clocking the order time for ordering through a drive-thru versus ordering through an app versus ordering through person or in person versus ordering in by parking in one of the spots and having somebody bring it out to you. Studies have shown that it's taken longer for pickup orders done through the app with the discount codes, and it's also taken longer for orders when you park in the spot to have somebody walk it out to you. That's all. First window. Thank you. $20.
Is it just me or is like nobody going out to eat anymore? I'm a server and a bartender and I feel like the money recently is just, it's not it. And I get it, everything's expensive. Nobody wants to go out to eat and pay for all that expensive ass shit. Restaurants are raising their prices. You don't want to tip us because you're poor.
Just in case you don't think we've lost our minds, this cup of soup at Panera was $9.50. It makes me think about my dad growing up. My dad was like a huge penny pincher when we talked about food. If I called him up and told him that this soup was $10 and I wanted it as a kid, he would have told me I lost my damn mind. Because you go home, your mama can make you that soup. $10 for soup? We have lost our damn minds out here.
Yes, but I feel like this is happening with grocery store food too. Meats taste different. They have a different texture. Fruits don't taste as fruity anymore. I don't know how to explain that. A lot of stuff just is strange. And that's just in the grocery store. In restaurants, I feel like things don't taste the same because they're cutting costs. Bottom line, they're buying cheaper ingredients. They're making your food cheaper, but they're charging you more for it. People will say this effect in taste is going to be because a lot of people suffered from COVID, XYZ. But I only had COVID once. I had it in the very, very beginning of the pandemic. And when my taste came back, everything tasted good. Everything tasted like it used to. I don't feel like this really started happening until like 2021, mid 2021, when I think all of these companies realized that the rush for goods during the pandemic was gone and they needed to recoup the costs somehow. Do I think all of these restaurants and grocery stores and everything have recouped all of their costs at this point? Yes, but they're never going back. Everything tastes like shit now because it's made with shit ingredients. Everything in the grocery store has fillers. I firmly believe that the food that we eat in the United States is just straight poison.
So I want to talk about the ridiculous prices that we have at restaurants and fast food places. Yesterday, I had to go out of town to do a job for work, and we stopped for, I'd say maybe 15, 20 minutes because we had some time to kill. We stopped into a McDonald's. Now, if you guys have seen the newer models of McDonald's stores, they're all automated. Basically, nobody sits in the dining room. Nobody is up at the counter, and I had to ring a bell, like literally an old-fashioned, bells we used to have on our desks. That'll tell you how old I am. I had to ring a bell to get customer service because the computerized systems where you order your food, I went ahead and ordered food, and I went to go pay with cash instead of a card because I like to keep cash, and there was no way for me to use the machine that they had there. Like, it wasn't even functioning, and it looked like it was brand new. So I went up to the lady that was the manager there, and I said, ma'am, I can't figure out, I'm so sorry, but I can't figure out how to use your cash option on this machine. She walks over to the machine and she punches some buttons and says, oh, just pay up at the counter. I don't want to mess with it. So I go to pay. You guys, 2 fries, a medium lemonade, and a large Diet Coke. $14. Seriously? $14. Now, mind you, yes, we go out to eat every now and then. A lot of times it's usually drive-thrus because when you sit down at a restaurant, it's like $100 for a couple people. And that's without getting beverages aside from water, right? So $14 for 2 French fries and 2 drinks? What is going on with these prices, you guys? And I was told yesterday that's not bad. Does anybody else see the irony in this? I mean, we have gone from things being halfway affordable to ridiculous. Who else has gone through a fast food place, please tell me, to get 1 or 2 items and it's like you have to give them a $20 bill for 1 or 2 items? I mean, it's insane. Burger King's the same way. The last time I went through Burger King, which is like several months ago, it was like $15, $16 for a small meal. And that was with like a medium-sized drink that wasn't even large on the drink, okay? So I just wanted to tell you guys, trust me, we're feeling the pinch too. And the reason why we only got fries and drinks is because I wasn't going to pay for full meals because I was like, well, we're traveling. I don't want to accidentally have a stomach ache and don't really want to spend a whole lot of money on food. So we did this thing lightly. And y'all, I know that seems like a minuscule thing, but when everybody's tight on money and bills are due and people are just trying to pay themselves, and feed themselves, $14 is a huge amount for a couple fries and a couple drinks. So rant over, but want to let y'all know about that.
Restaurant prices out there have gone completely insane. Check this out. This is the kids menu for Benihana. We got chicken and steak and shrimp, 200 calories, $27.50. Benihana is not a cheap restaurant by any means, but the last time I went there, which was about 4 years ago for my 23rd birthday, I ordered the same thing I had always ordered, which was the Splash and Meadow, steak and shrimp, which at the time, adult portion was $27. Fast forward to today, 4 years later, official inflation over that time less than 20%. That same exact meal is now $53, and that doesn't include the chicken fried rice. which now is an additional $8 on top of that. So $60 for the same dish I used to get for $27. Where now you literally get 150 calories worth of steak and shrimp for $27.50. Good food, but I'm done. I have a family of 4. I got 2 little kids. I'm not ordering $30 kids menu items for. If you add my wife and I's entrees, and if we got drinks, you're talking $250 to go to Benihana. And look guys, the crazy part is we're there on a Saturday night and the place was like a ghost town. Unfortunately, I think places like this are literally pricing themselves out of business. It's just not worth it anymore.
So I'm at lunch and I haven't been to Subway in forever, but I decided to come to Subway and get a sandwich. I got a 6-inch spicy Italian on wheat, made it a combo. I got to buy my card, $11. I'm like, shoot, that's crazy. But you know how expensive things are nowadays. Subtotals $9.58. Tax 8%, that's 77 cents. Total $10.35. Where'd the other money come from? It automatically adds in a tip of $1.04. Total with the tip is $11.39. Are you serious? You added $1.04 tip automatically without even asking me anything. Guess where I won't be coming? Not to this location, which by the way is in McDonough.
I'm tired of pretending any type of food, whether it's sandwiches, burgers, hot dogs, whatever, when you go out to eat, I'm tired of pretending that it's not expensive. I went to Jimmy John's last night for dinner. Me and my brother got 2 full sandwiches. Okay, they're full sandwiches. $47. $47 for 2 sandwiches. I understand Jimmy John's has been on the pricier side of sandwiches since they started. This is outrageous. I swear this is more expensive. This is more expensive than what I got last time. $47. What are we doing? Is this the economy that we were looking for in the 21st century? Yeah, I didn't think so.
Has Chipotle lost its mind? My son and I just got done at the gym with a workout. We went into Chipotle. We got 2 bowls and 2 drinks. And granted, we did get double meat, but we didn't get chips. We didn't get guac. $52.64 for 2 bowls and 2 drinks at Chipotle. This used to be like $11 for a burrito bowl. I know I saw a story the other day about them on the news where the CEO was saying that their stock was down 15% because Gen Z wasn't eating out anymore. It's not because Gen Z's not eating out anymore. It's because you guys have lost your damn minds. Where you guys are charging people over $25 to get a burrito bowl of cheap Mexican food and a regular drink, not even a biggie drink. It's like a medium. Like, how in the world do you expect people to keep coming in when you've jacked your prices over 3 times what they've been just since the start of COVID? This is 100% your fault that your stock is down 15%. Because you guys have raised your prices way past the point where regular people are willing to pay them. Until your prices come down, your business is going to keep sinking. I don't know what they're thinking, but am I crazy here that $52 for 2 bowls and 2 drinks is nuts?
I want to get a coffee. You know what? Instead of making it at home, I say, let me support a small local business. I go to my local coffee shop, buy the latte that they have for advertisement, $7.12 for the smallest. This is a 12 ounce. $7.12 for the smallest. $7.12 for this. I'm not going to put the place on blast. But really, this is why I just make my coffee at home.
Is it just me, or are fast food, fast casual places just getting so out of hand? Tell me how. We just left Jersey Mike's. I got 1 sandwich, a giant sandwich, the biggest one they have, but double meat and 2 bags of chips. It was $32 for a sandwich. $32.
Hey, so this cost me $18. Probably gonna drink half of it. $18.
Please tell me why I just went through McDonald's to get a Diet Coke. And I was on the phone with my husband while I was ordering, and he's like, wait, you're at McDonald's? Get a Filet-O-Fish sandwich. He's like, get me 2. So, whatever. I ordered 3 Filet-O-Fishes in a separate order because she wouldn't let me add it on to my Diet Coke order. Anyways, that's a whole nother story. It pissed me off. pull around, order 3 filet of fishes, not the meal, just the sandwich. She clarified. She said, the sandwich or the meal? And I said, just the sandwich. And she said, 3 of them? I said, yes. Tell me why it was $17 for 3 filet of fishes on Friday during Lent at McDonald's. I'm not crazy. I sat there and blinked my eyes, and then I just pulled away because I was so angry, which probably was rude, but like, $17 for 3 filet of fishes at McDonald's? Are you kidding me?
$87. That's how much I spent on soups and sandwiches at Panera for 4 people. My daughter wanted to go to Panera Bread for her birthday, and I was like, really? You want to go to Panera for your birthday? And she's like, yeah, that's where I want to go. And I'm like, you know what? It's not steak. I'm getting a deal. Bullshit. I'm getting a deal. $87. For $87, I could have been across the street at the Red Lobster having bottomless Cheddar Bay biscuits. I could have been across the street at the other side at the Olive Garden, you know, when you're here, your family, having endless salad and breadsticks. But no, I was at Panera for $87 worth of tomato soup and grilled cheese. And I see all these influencers who are on here promoting Panera. Are you kidding me? 4 people. $87 at Panera in this economy? That is some bullshit. Panera, you better count your days.
This video is for Wendy's, McDonald's, Burger King, any fast food organization that's struggling, that keeps saying sales are way down. Not even the poor people come here anymore. You want to know the truth? Have you seen the lines at In-N-Out? They don't freeze any of their food. It's all fresh. Every single day you go there, it's fresh food. They're not raising their prices astronomically, doubling or tripling what they were charging a few years ago. You can still go there and feed your family, and it's reasonable, and it tastes good. It's that simple. It's that simple. When I can go to Chili's and get better ingredients, better service, and it costs cheaper than it does at your fast food establishment, there's a reason Chili's is still doing really, really well. It's not hard. You got to stop being greedy. It's that simple. You got to take care of your customers. Your brand was built on your customers, not on anything else. And if you don't give them what they want, which is fresh, good for them products at a reasonable cost, yeah, this is the result. Business 101.
This is where we are in society. That's 8 pieces of chicken and some rice for $15. $15 for this. $15. Does anybody else have the feeling like there's not going to be any restaurants left if this is what's happening? Like, I'll pay $20 for Five Guys because I feel like it's worth it, but $15 for 8 pieces of chicken and a bunch of rice, not worth it. This is ludicrous.
So restaurants are now charging dine-in fees. A dine-in fee? And then on top of that, a tip. So dine-in fee, you're charging me to come in. That don't make sense. See, it's getting ridiculous out here.
Why are appetizers the same price as entrees now? Like, genuinely, what is happening? And when did that happen? I saw someone make a video about this the other day and it clicked for me. Like, appetizers and entrees should not be the same price in any world. Appetizers used to be like a fun little addition, something you'd add just to have on the table. All of your friends and you can buy a couple together and just snack on them. But now you open the menu and spinach dip is $19. Why is spinach dip just as expensive as a full meal? And don't even get me started on mozzarella sticks. Like, there's no world where 4 mozzarella sticks should enter the entree category in terms of pricing. It doesn't make sense. And for some reason, these restaurants are still calling them shareables. Like, oh, they're little snacks you can share with your friends. Like, it costs more than the meal. We're going to be financially ruined if we all get appetizers. And on top of that, the appetizers are smaller. They're not the same quality as they used to be before. And for some reason now, a burger doesn't come with fries. Like, if you want to get fries, you got to pay extra money for it. Appetizers are supposed to be casual, low stakes, a little treat before the meal, not a major investment. Like, when did it become acceptable for appetizers to cost more than the actual meals? I know we're all gung-ho on no more QR codes, but we need to talk about this too. It just doesn't sit right with me.
Okay, here's the deal. We just got back from dinner, and I never give bad reviews, ever. Like, ever. And I'm not even going to name the place that we went to here in Connecticut, because we've been going there for years. Here's the sad thing. The portions were minuscule. I mean, tiny. And we used to go there. I mean, we go there like once every other month. and get portions like, you know, you have to take stuff home. They raise the prices and the portions are smaller. And this is why I do what I do. Because leftovers and working with what you got is the only thing we got right now. We can't afford to go to dinner for what we just paid for. Anyway, I did bring leftovers home. I brought home the chicken. Why? Because it was severely overcooked and I couldn't eat it. Anyway, I love you. Be wary. Things are changing. They've been changing for a while. Follow me. Let's keep doing these leftover series. Love you.
How can we afford to go out and eat at this rate? I went to Joey's last weekend and I had dinner with my friend. I haven't seen her in a while and I don't go out to dinner that often. I ordered this tuna burger, which sounded divine. I was so excited to try it. I substituted a garden salad instead of fries because I wanted something a little bit lighter. Got the burger. It's a big burger. It was delicious. The salad was honestly so mid. I could have done without the salad, but I got my bill and I could not believe how much I had dropped for a burger and a salad. I spent $41 with tip on my burger with a salad. And I did not order a drink. I told my roommate and she's like, did you order a drink? I said no. I got a tuna burger and a salad. And it's because the tuna burger was $29. And then to substitute a garden salad was $4 extra. And then I tipped her 20%, I think, because she was so nice and I really liked her and she was very genuine and down to earth. I think you should tip your servers. But at this rate, I'm not going to be able to afford to tip or be able to afford to go out to eat if I'm spending $40 for a simple burger and a salad. Like, that's actually insane. And it's not even a fine dining restaurant.
I just want to know when as a society we got to this point. Me and my husband went to Chili's last night. Chili's for dinner, right? He got a burger, I got the triple dipper, and we got 2 beers and chips and queso. Tell me why I spent $70 or $80 on dinner last night. For a burger, the triple dipper, 2 beers, and chips and queso. Well, you can't even like go to dinner anymore at Chili's and not have the mentality of that you're gonna drop around $100. Freaking blows my mind. Anyways, maybe I'm the only person who, I don't know, cares about it, but that blew my mind. It was insane. I looked at him and I was like, we're at Chili's. Like, I don't care to spend money on a dinner. I like going to dinner for the atmosphere, for the experience. I like going out to eat. I love going out to eat. But like, Chili's for a burger and an appetizer and 2 beers and some chips and queso. Anyways, that's all. Bye.
So recently I made a video about how insane it is that appetizer prices have gone through the roof and they basically cost you the same as a meal. Because it's insane. Like, literally you're paying $16, $17, $18, even like $12, $13, $14 is a lot for an appetizer compared to what it used to be. And most of the people agree with me in the comments. Those people are like, it's insane. Sometimes I don't get appetizers. Sometimes I'll just get the appetizer as the meal because I'm basically paying the same price, or we only get water. Like, a lot of people were agreeing with me. There was a couple people here and there who were like, prices haven't really changed, or they've always been this way. They've always been so expensive. So I did some digging. Let me show you what I found. What I'm about to show you is a Outback Steakhouse menu that I found on eBay from 2010. Now, before I show you this, I get it. Inflation's normal. I get that normal inflation prices go up. I get that. But it's been a little insane for appetizers. So it's a little hard to see, but if you look over here, we got the appetizers to share. You can see the grilled shrimp on the Barbie, $7.95. A bloomin' onion, $5.95 for a bloomin' onion. $5.95. Then you also can see the quesadillas, $4.95 for a small one, $7.95 for a regular one. And here's the big one. The Kookaburra wings, $7.95 for some wings. You're not finding that anywhere today. Not to mention the same price for the Gold Coast coconut shrimp. So keep that in mind. Now here are some prices of the current day Outback Steakhouse. Down Under Trio, $12.99. The fried mozzarella boomerangs actually do look pretty good. It looks like you get a decent amount for $10. But the bloomin' onion, $10.99 for the bloomin' onion now. Look at the bloomin' fried shrimp, $14.99 for some shrimp now. You're paying $11 for a bloomin' onion and $14.99 for some fried shrimp. Grilled shrimp on the Barbie, $14.99. The Kookaburra wings, remember those $8 Kookaburra wings? $15.49 now. Are you kidding me? Is that not enough for you? Let's look at Chili's. This is an old menu I found on Reddit. I believe he said it's from 2014. Look, the Triple Dipper. The Triple Dipper right here. $11.49. Southwest Egg Rolls, $8.49. Boneless wings, $8.99. Still a great price for wings. Normal wings, again, $8.99. Potato skins, which I don't have anymore. RIP potato skins. I love potato skins. $7.49 or $29, excuse me. And then look at the dips. Look, tostada chips, $3.49 with some chips and salsa. Very reasonable. I'll pay $3.49 for chips and salsa. That makes sense. Even the queso and the guac, $5.99. A little bit more, but hey, I'll pay $6 for some good queso and some good guac. It makes sense. You're sharing it. Now let's look at the modern day Chili's appetizer prices. And we're going to start with the big one. The Triple Dipper. Remember that $11.49 Triple Dipper? You're now paying $18 for a Triple Dipper. Those $8.99 boneless wings, forget about it. $17.99 for bone-in wings, $14.99 for boneless wings. Forget about the wing prices. I'm not paying $18 for some wings. Look at the egg rolls, $14.79. Look at the dips, $13 for chips and dips. What are we doing? Kind of hard to see with the mozzarella sticks. Yeah, $16. So ain't nobody getting that these days. In 11 years, which I get is a decent amount of time, but still a wild jump to go from $11.49 to $18 for a Triple Dipper. And you'll wonder why people aren't getting meals. Look, I get inflation's normal. I get that prices are going to naturally go up over time. I get that. But the price of appetizers has definitely gone up a lot more than the price of everything else, except maybe like housing. It's just crazy to think that like growing up, we were paying, $5, $6, $7, and if you want to get some chips and dip, like $3. But now you're paying $14, $15, $16 to get some wings and some chips and dip. I don't know if it'll ever go back down again, but it's getting kind of ridiculous out here.
You spend $10 a tomato. I do a lot of work in restaurants, and I'm just leaving a client now, and the chef was telling me that tomatoes are the most expensive that they've ever been. And he was saying that a case of tomatoes, the beefsteak tomatoes, which are 5 inches by 6 inches, come 10 to 12 in a case. They're $100 per case. So $8 to $12 depending on how many tomatoes are in there per tomato. $8 to $12 per tomato. I remember when I first started farming, I went to the store and bought a tomato and it was like $3. I'm like, $3 for a tomato, like that's great. $10 is insane. I mean, that alone, like a single tomato plant could give you 12 tomatoes easily. So, save yourself $100, $200 a year depending on you have 1 or 2 tomato plants. Like if that alone is a reason to start growing your own food, it's crazy.
Why does it feel like every restaurant is both more expensive and shittier? Like those two things are happening at the same time in the same direction simultaneously. The kids' meals cost as much as the grown-up meals used to cost, and I can't even settle for shitty fast food because Subway used to be the cheap, healthy option at every corner for $5, but it got bought by an investment group, and they switched to pre-sliced meat to cut costs, and now it's $15. So now I'm dropping the same amount of money as a sit-down restaurant and leaving hungry and sad for what used to be $20. Who approved this?
Is it just me, or does anyone else genuinely hate going to restaurants now? Like, I really love just simple, basic food at home, and whenever I decide to go to a restaurant, I pay $1,800 and it's the most mid thing ever, or it's not exactly to my taste, or it's just really disappointing. And so I'm like, I just resent the whole thing. Like, the portion is like this, the bill is $982, and it's gross. It's just simply gross. I don't know what happened, if it's like America, if it's everywhere, but I'm not even excited about going to try new restaurants at this point, which is great for my bank account.
This is the craziest shit ever. So I'm here at Chipotle and I just want to show you guys what I ordered. This is literally all that I ordered. Just this. And this shit cost me $20. 19, but that's basically 20. $19 for one person. That's literally an hour of work for a lot of people in this world. This is crazy, and I'm only here because I'm starving, but it's some bullshit.
I just paid $19 for this sad little sack of Taco Bell. Who remembers the glory days when you could roll through with your car full of all of your friends, get the entire menu practically for like $7?
I just got robbed at McDonald's. I went there, and I don't go there often for myself at all, and all I wanted was some French fries, and they charged me $5.09 for a large fry. That is robbery. Like, can we ever come back from inflation? You know what I mean? Because it should not be $5 for fries at McDonald's. A whole meal used to cost $5. This is literally robbery. I can't even handle it anymore. I was just craving some salty fries. That's it. So I'm like, all right, let me pull through here. And when she said $5.09, I almost drove right through. I said, that can't be right. Absolutely not. I'm like just at a loss for words with the cost of things right now. Everything keeps going up except our paychecks. Isn't that weird? Honestly, can we come back from inflation? Because it just keeps going up. Can't do anything about it except be broke. There's no middle class anymore. It's either poor or rich.
The Starbucks CEO is saying that coffee is going to be $9 and it should be a little treat. We just need to stop buying these things. I'm so serious. Boycott it. They won't keep raising prices if we stop buying their crap. Make coffee at home. It's actually a lot cheaper to make it at home, obviously, but it's one thing that you can significantly save money on. And I get it. People are gonna be like, oh, my treat, my treat. Someone else made a video today about Taco Bell's prices. They keep raising them because people keep buying it. Someone's still supporting it and buying it. If we cut it out for a month, 2 months, 3 months, these places will struggle so bad. I saw Subway is starting to bring back $5 deals. Yes, it's a smaller sandwich, but they realize nobody wants their shitty subs. So now some of their things are $5.
Do you remember when eating fast food was like cheap? Well, as a family of 5, there's honestly nothing cheap anymore. But Portillo's, if you guys know Portillo's, it's like cheeseburgers, chicken sandwiches, chicken tenders, Italian beef, hot dogs, so fast food style food. It's not like a nice sit down restaurant. For a family of 5, for each of us to get a meal, $100. So $100 to go eat fast food. Is that not insane? What restaurants did you guys used to love that, you know, was affordable, but now it's definitely not affordable? Like, I can't finish a lacrosse game and just be like, oh, let's go to Portillo's for dinner, because I don't want to spend $100 on a random weeknight on food.
Okay, what is going on? This used to be $1, this large Diet Coke. Now, for a little bit, it was $1.50, and I was like, okay, I'll pay 50 extra cents for my large Diet Coke. Now it is $2.11. What is really going on? Can someone tell me? Why are prices going through the roof, especially food? What is going on?
Hello, what are you guys doing on a Saturday night? I'm going to get Chick-fil-A because they have a new Chick-fil-A sandwich. It's a jalapeno Chick-fil-A sandwich, and I'm so excited. Yes, that's my excited Saturday night thing. But I just don't feel like cooking, and I had Bible study earlier. I remember we used to be able to go to Chick-fil-A, McDonald's, anywhere like that, and you could get out of there with $5, $6 for one person. Oh, maybe even cheaper than that. I mean, I remember back in the day, you could eat McDonald's for $3.50. Now it's for 2 people, it's $23. When all I got was 2 meals. It's crazy. Everything is so expensive.
I barely made it out the drive-thru before realizing. You know, Egg McMuffins are $6.69 now. McDonald's, beef for real. The same old dusty ass. Actually, this one kind of looks good. This one's warm. I'm not gonna shit on them, but just a sandwich, $6.69. I said, just by curiosity, how much is a meal? She said $10. Somebody like McDonald's right now. Beef for real. This one hits, but beef for real.
Y'all, we are at Freddy's in North Augusta, the hamburger place, and Addie wanted a double, some tater tots, and a concrete. It's like a milkshake. And guess how much they just told me I had to pay? $16. What the world? $16 for a fast food restaurant? Something is wrong with this picture. I don't know what's going on, but sister girl need a job. That's what you need. So if y'all have if anybody hiring a 12-year-old, let me know, because sister need a job, because we can't be eating out. We can't be eating out like this if it's $16 every time. She acting silly over here, acting silly. But I'm gonna put it at work. So anybody hiring 12-year-olds, almost 13, let a sister know, because she got to get a job. It is no way. I wish they'll go back to using their school stomachs.
You doing too much.
And eat like they did when they went to school, because then we won't have to worry about all this. Someone need to hurry up and get over, because they need to go back to school. I can't do this every day.
Apparently, my parents were right all this time. We do, in fact, have food at home. I don't know if it's just me, but the fast food just simply does not hit anymore. It is way too expensive. And I say that as a full-time engineer in the Bay Area with my own place, my own car, my own apartment, my own everything. Not only are you paying the absurd price, but you're also not getting any nutritional value from the food they bring you. It leaves you with the upset stomach the next day, and then they ask you to tip when all they did was take your order. Service is always mid, and the places itself generally just aren't clean. And in my area, it costs $20 per person just to get a meal for a regular fast food chain. I would much rather spend my money at a high-end restaurant maybe once a month, because at least they're actually serving me specifically. They're bringing the food to me, they're checking if everything's okay, they're refilling my water. And those places generally have healthier food options that don't cut your lifespan by 10 years.
Instead of simply accepting higher prices, many consumers are changing how they eat. Some are ordering less. Others are skipping drinks and extras. Some are choosing grocery store meals instead of restaurant food, while others are returning to cooking at home. And there's another interesting trend. People are becoming much more careful about comparing prices. They might check multiple apps, look for coupons, wait for promotions, or compare a fast food meal with a grocery option before spending their money. For restaurants, that means customer loyalty can no longer be taken for granted. If people believe they're not getting enough value, they have plenty of alternatives. Then there's the issue that seems to make customers especially angry: unexpected charges. People are increasingly questioning why a basic purchase can come with additional fees, or why the advertised price sometimes feels very different from the final total. Even small charges can become frustrating when customers are already paying more for the food itself, and once a receipt goes viral online, thousands of people start comparing their own experiences. That's how a single expensive meal can turn into a much bigger conversation about the cost of living. The fast food debate isn't really just about burgers, fries, or restaurants. It's about value. Consumers want convenience, but they also want to feel like they're getting their money's worth. The restaurants need to cover their rising expenses, but customers have limits too, and when those two sides can't find a balance, people simply start spending their money somewhere else. So here's the question: what's the most you've ever paid for a fast food meal, and at what price would you finally say, "I'm just eating at home"? Let us know your number in the comments. Because apparently, fast food isn't feeling so fast or so cheap anymore.
And this video is made for entertainment purpose only. Like and follow and subscribe and comment this video. An interesting part in the video, please comment and like, follow please. Thank you.